Alright, so I'm making this video because I want to show you guys my experience with the titanium iPhone 16 Pro Max versus the aluminum body iPhone 17 Pro Max in the transparent Apple cases. So I've had the 16 Pro Max for a year, ever since the launch date. First, I want to show you guys the wear and tear on the case. So this was an everyday carry. You can see that I've definitely dropped it couple times. There's a clear crack right there. There's a crack right here on this corner of the case. There's a crack on this corner of the case. There's quite a bit of debris on the lower edges of the interior of the case, as well as the upper lip portion of the case. That's just kind of accumulated over time. I didn't take the phone out of the case and do any regular cleaning, so it's basically been inside this case for a year. So it's a very well-used case. But let's take a look at the phone. Let's get some dust off the screen first. So let me point out the wear and tear first. So I'll have to throw up some pictures on the screen because it might be hard to tell. But there is some wear on the screen right here. There's actually some little abrasions or little nicks on the screen down here, as well as here. And then there's a bigger scratch towards the top in this area. I'll try to throw some pictures on the screen so you guys can see it. More importantly, let's look at the body. So again, this is 1 year of use in the transparent Apple case with clear drops on many of the corners. But when I look at it, it's basically flawless on the body itself, especially on the edges. The back is pretty much flawless, so the case did its job. Now, in comparison, this is the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This case is pretty much brand new. However, I did have my first drop, which was face down on some asphalt. You can see the wear on the case was right here. But let me show you guys the phone, and this part is what really upsets me. And I've actually seen similar pictures online as well. So there's a very deep nick on this corner. Scratches on this side. Another clear nick on the corner right here. And then some scratches on the screen there. So the phone basically fell face down like this, while inside the case that has a lip that's slightly raised, but it still suffered damage. No damage on the screen itself. However, there was damage on these edges for some reason. Now, I knew that the switch from titanium to aluminum would make the overall durability of the iPhone 17 Pro Max less than the titanium, just because of the type of material it's using. However, I've been using iPhones for a long time, and I've dropped plenty of them, and I've never seen like this type of damage, especially when using a case. So the reason why I'm making this video is I've always tried to use thinner cases, like the Apple designed ones that are pretty basic, not bulky at all. But for the first time ever, I think I'm actually gonna buy a bulkier case for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, because I don't know about the people going caseless out there. I highly don't recommend it, just based on the damage I see from one drop. And this was probably at about 3 feet off of the ground. But if there are people out there that are going caseless with this phone and they drop it from any height, you're gonna see these types of things really fast. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm probably not gonna be using these common cases long term. I'm going to be looking at bulkier solutions to really protect this thing. I'm in the iPhone upgrade program, so when I do return it, I want to return it in as good a shape as possible. However, even if I decide to buy out the contract and pay full price for it, even when I go and resell this phone next year, I want to make sure that it's as flawless as possible to get the maximum value. So it makes sense to try to protect the exterior as best as I can. And unfortunately, I don't think this is going to cut it like how it did for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So stay tuned. I'm going to look for a bulkier solution. Right now, I'm looking at the D brand one because they're just a really good brand, and they have really good products, and they stand behind the products. But I'm going to be looking at some other solutions as well. But stay tuned for that video. Now, if you like what you see in this video, make sure to click on this video right here. This is my iPhone 17 review. I'll see you guys next time.